You're welcome to Mass Key Points. We shall be looking at change of subjects of a formula. Now we say change of subjects of a formula. Change of subjects of a formula. On this channel, we'll give you the key points. So whenever you come across a question on this topic in your O-level mathematics, you just do justice to it. Now, if you have an expression like this, A is equal to 1 over 2 times B times H. This can also be expressed as A equal to 1 over 2 BH. What this expression is telling you is that this is what? A formula. Now, this A you are seeing here is standing what? Alone. That means this A cannot function without the B, without this B and this H. So, in essence, when we say change of subject of a formula, what we are trying to say is that whenever the subject of a formula is to be changed, the essence is to make that quantity becoming the subject to stand alone. Now, A is standing what? Alone. Is one of what? The characteristics of A as the subject of this formula. Now, A is what? Standing alone. And A is what? Also dependent on B and what? H. So that is the meaning. Now, H can also be changed to become the subject of this same formula. B can also what? Be changed to become the subject of what? This formula. Now, in order to do that, you can employ different methods such as division, multiplication, factorization, squaring both sides, and so on and so forth. And whatsoever you do to the right hand side, you also do same towards the left hand side. So I want you to take note of that. So that is the meaning of change of subject of a formula. Now this same formula A equal to half times B times H. Now let's say we want to make H as what? The subject of this formula now. So you have a clear understanding of what I'm trying to say. Now from here we have that A is equal to what? Half times B times what? H. Now if we want to make H the subject of this formula, what do? We multiply first of all both sides by what? 2. Multiplying both sides by 2, we have that what? 2 times A is equal to what? 2 times 1 over 2 times B times H. Now this becomes 2A because 2 times A is what? A, equal to these 2 will cancel out. You now have 1 times B times H, which is what? B times H, which is the same thing as what? BH. Now this same equation can be written like this, that BH is equal to what? 2A. Now from here we will now say divide both sides by what? B. Dividing both sides by B, we now have BH over B is equal to what? 2A over what? B. This B cancel this B, therefore our H is now equal to what? 2A over what? B. Now this new expression you're seeing here now, we have now made H the subject of the formula by employing this multiplication and division what? Principle to achieve this. So that is the meaning of change of subject of a formula. So we are going to solve more examples so that you get a big picture. Now let's take an example, example 1. Example 1, you have an expression like this: a into x plus b, bracket close, equal to cx. Now the equation is make a the subject of the formula. Now solution, what this means is that you should make a to stand what alone. So we have a into x plus b equal to cx. Now, but we have an expression that is in front of a, but we want a to stand alone. So very easy. What do we do to take this off? We divide both sides by what? X plus b, which now becomes a into x plus b divided by what? X plus b, bracket open, bracket close, equal to cx over what? X plus b. Okay, now these two will cancel each other, thereby making our a to be equal to what? Cx over what? X plus b. So this is the final answer. Very easy. Okay, let's take another example. Example 2. Example 2, you have an expression as this: 1 over a is equal to b plus c over b minus c. Now they say make b the subject of the formula. Very simple. What do? We come to this end. We have 1 over a is equal to b plus c over b minus c. We want to make b the subject of the formula. Now, because of this equality sign, what do? We cross multiply. It's a cross multiply. Cross multiplying both sides, we have that 1 into b minus c is equal to a into what? B plus what? C. Now this gives you b minus c is equal to what? AB plus what? AC. Now what do? We bring like terms together. Now this now becomes b minus ab. If this ab is crossing over this equality sign, it becomes what? Negative, which is now equal to what? AC plus what? C. Now this c is crossing over the equality sign, it now becomes what? Positive. So now if you look at this now, what do? We have like terms here. B is here, B is here, C is here, C is here. What do? We expand. So expanding both sides, we have b into what? Or you say factorize both sides, you have b into what? 1 minus what? A is equal to what? C into a plus 1. Now b times 1 is what? B. B times a is what? AB. Now c times a is what? AC, and c times 1 is what? C. Now this now we have this expression, but we want b to stand alone. What do? We now divide both sides by what? Bracket open, 1 minus a, which now gives our b as equal to what? C into a plus 1 divided by what? 1 minus a. So this is our answer. As easy as what? ABCD. Now we also have what we call subject of formula with substitution. What this means is that from the first example we solved, we said H is equal to what? 2A over what? B, if you can recall. Now you can be asked this question, given that H is equal to 2A over what? B. Okay, now the question is, find H when A is equal to 2 and B is equal to what? 5. Now this is an example of subject of formula with what? Substitution. You see now, values have been given for A and what? B, because H, this H here depends on what? A and what? B. So H is dependent on A and B, and now A and B has what? Values. Now you are asked to find H, given that A is equal to 2 and B is equal to what? 5. Now as easy as ABCD. Solution, H is equal to what? 2A over what? B. And they said A is what? 2. So 2 into what? 2 divided by what? 5. This is what? 2 times 2 is 4. This is what? 5. This gives you what? 0. You add 0 here. 40. 40 divided by 5 is what? 8. Therefore, our H is equal to what? 0.8. As easy as what? ABC. Now let's take another example. We have T as equal to 2 pi square root of L over what? G. You're asked to make L the subject of the formula. Solution, T is equal to 2 pi multiplied by the square root of what? L over what? G. Now the first thing to do, we want L to stand alone. So what do? We divide first of all both sides by what? 2 pi. Okay, now this gives us T over 2 pi is equal to what? 2 pi over 2 pi times L over what? G. This 2 pi will cancel out. We have T over 2 pi is equal to square root of what? L over G. Now, what do we do now? We have a square root sign here, but we are looking for this L. So what do we now do? We say square both sides. Square both sides. So squaring both sides gives us what? T over 2 pi, or what? Squared is equal to what? Square root of L over G, all what? Squared. And remember, this square root sign is the same thing as what? L over G, okay, raised to power what? Half. Now, is now raised to power 2 means times what? 2. Okay, what will happen? These 2 will do what? Cancel out. We now have that T over 2 pi all squared is equal to what? L over what? G. So from here we have that T square is what? T square over 2 pi square is what? 2 square is what? 4. Pi square is what? Pi squared, equal to what? L over G. Now from here we have G under what? L. What do we now do? We say multiply both sides by what? G. What do we now have? You now have G times C square over what? 4 pi square equal to what? L over G times what? G. This G will cancel out, thereby making our L to be equal to what? GT squared over what? 4 pi squared. So this is our answer, as easy as what? ABCD. What you are seeing here, this place I marked red, is what? Our final answer. Okay, so let's take this last example for this section. It goes this way: given that V squared is equal to U squared plus 2AS, express S in terms of U, V, and what? A. It went further to say find the value of S when U is equal to what? 15, V is equal to what? 20, and A is equal to what? 5. Solution. If you look at this critically, they did not tell you make S the subject of the formula. What they said is, they said express S in terms of U, V, and A. What they are trying to tell is that make S the subject of the formula. They went further to say find the value of S. So they have also given you another word, S pool. Find the value of S when U is equal to 15, V is equal to what? 20, and A is equal to 5. What this means is that you must first of all make S the subject of the formula before you can fill in these figures and then get the final value of what? S. So let's proceed. From here we have that V squared is equal to U squared plus what? 2AS. We want S to stand alone. What do? We say, how can we proceed? From here, we say subtract U squared from both sides. So this now gives us V squared minus U squared equal to what? U squared minus U squared plus 2AS. These two will go. We now have V squared minus U squared is equal to what? 2AS. Now this expression can be written as 2AS is equal to what? V squared minus U squared. Now, but we want S to stand alone, but 2A is in front of S. So what do? We say divide both sides by what? 2A. This now gives us 2AS over 2A is equal to what? V squared minus U squared over what? 2A. This 2A will cancel this 2A, giving us our S as equal to what? V squared minus U squared, all divided by what? 2A. So we have answered the first part of the question. They say express S in terms of U, V, and A. So S is equal to what? V squared minus U squared over 2A. So this is the expression. So let's go to the second question. It says find the value of S when U is equal to 15, V is equal to 20, and A is equal to 5. Now, what does it mean? It simply means substitute the values. From here, we have that our S will now be what? V is what? 20. So 20 what? Squared. Minus our U is what? 15. 15 squared. All divided by what? Our times 2, then the A is what? 5. Very simple. Our S is now what? 20 squared is what? 20 times 20, which is 400, minus 15 squared is 15 times 15, which is 225, all divided by what? 2 times 5 is what? 10. Now from here, our S is going to be what? 10 here gives you 5. You have 9. 9 minus 2 will give you what? 7. You have 3. 3 gives you 1. 175 divided by what? 10. So 175 divided by 10 is what? 17.5. So our S is equal to what? 17.5. So this is the end of this section. Please, if you like this video, I would like you to subscribe to this channel. Thank you.